How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the Patriot DIY channel. If you're familiar with this channel, you're probably also familiar with my dust collection system. Now, as you can see, I've done a lot of upgrades to this. It started as a Harbor Freight dust collector, and I did a bunch of upgrades to it, turning it into a two-stage system, adding a bunch of ducting, filters, all of that. But there is one upgrade that I haven't done yet, and that's what we're gonna be doing in this video. I'm gonna show you guys how you can upgrade the impeller fan that's in this system and ultimately increase your suction. If you've been following the channel, you have seen our dust collection system. This is a Harbor Freight dust collector that I upgraded to a two-stage system, ran ducting all around my shop, and it has been working out great. If you haven't seen that video of how I set up my dust collection system, I will put a link to that right here at the top of the screen and down in the description. But I've decided to add some more ducting and run pipe to some new tools here in the shop. First, I'm going to be running a new drop down to my table saw and getting rid of the shop vac that I was using for that. Also have a new Shapeoko 5 Pro CNC machine all the way on the other side of the shop, and I'm considering running ducting all the way across to there. And so I want to increase the suction that I'm getting from this system as much as possible. Now, one way to do that is by increasing the size of the impeller that's in the motor. Now, what comes with the Harbor Freight is a 10-inch impeller fan. And like I said before, it does get the job done. I've never had any problems with my dust collection system, but since I am adding quite a bit more ducting, I want to maximize it. So I'm going to be replacing that 10-inch fan with an aftermarket 12-inch impeller fan that I'm getting from Wind Tools. Now, if you're interested in doing this upgrade for yourself, I will have a link to that impeller fan in the description below if you want to get it for yourself. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to take this apart, remove the old impeller, install the new one, and instantly increase the CFM that you're getting from your system. But before we get into that, guys, if you haven't done it yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, hit that notification bell, and give us a thumbs up. Now let's get to it. All right, guys, so before I do this, I need to partially disassemble my system here. So I'm going to remove that dust deputy from the bottom so I can access this large flange, and then I'm just going to remove all the screws holding that in. Once that's out, you have full access to your impeller, and this is what that looks like. You'll see the fan blades there, and it's held in with a screw and washer here on the bottom. So next you need to remove that bottom screw. Now this is reverse threaded, so it's going to be lefty tighty, righty loosey. And once that screws out, you can pull your fan out. Now you can see me trying here, and this thing just will not budge. So I'm going to use this gear puller tool. This is just going to grab on to a groove on that shaft, and as you tighten that bolt on the tool, it adds pressure and it'll pull the fan off. Now, unfortunately, the first one I used was not getting the job done. The little lip that it was latching onto actually broke. So I'm going to switch to a larger 10-inch gear puller here. That way I can grab onto the outsides of the fan, and I'm going to be using my impact gun to turn it. And after a lot of persuasion and bending the fan a little bit, it finally did come out. Now there is a little alignment bar that fits up into this little notch between the shaft and the fan. So you're going to want to hold on to that because you are going to need to reinstall it. So here's an example of the difference between the old 10-inch Harbor Freight fan and the 12-inch Wind fan that we're going to be adding on here. And that increase in size should result in an increase in suction. Then we just need to line up our new impeller and get it up onto the shaft. Now, it did need some persuasion to help get it up on there. So you can see I'm using a dead blow mallet and a block of wood to push this up in there. And though it was a tight fit, it did go up in there perfectly. Once it's in place, we need to reinstall that little alignment bar. Then we replace that screw and washer on the bottom, and we are good to go. And we're ready to reassemble everything. And with that done, we're going to go over to that new drop over here by the table saw and just test that out to make sure we have good suction here. And it looks like we do. All right guys, that is it for how to upgrade the impeller fan on your dust collection system. Like I said, mine is a Harbor Freight dust collector, and that Win impeller fan fits in there perfectly, but I'm sure it would also work for other brands, so do your research on that. Overall, it's a pretty simple process and it results in some serious gains in your system. But I will say getting that old fan blade off was very difficult. I went through a couple different puller tools before I found one that would work. I also bent the fan up pretty good before I ever actually got it out of there. But I did finally get it. I have seen videos of other people doing this process where it wasn't quite as difficult as mine was. So I think your mileage may vary on that. But I will put a link to that puller tool in the description so you can grab one of those as well. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Has anybody else done this upgrade? Make sure you let us know. Thanks for watching, guys. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.